When you meet the sociopath, you may feel like you've met the person you've been waiting for your entire life, your soulmate. Why is that? I'm Donna Andersen, author of Lovefraud.com, and today I'm going to talk about sociopaths and soulmates. Your new beau may proclaim that the two of you are soulmates. Is it true? Was this involvement meant to be? Okay, let's get started. A few years ago, I read the book Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. It was the #1 New York Times bestseller when it was published in 2007. Elizabeth tells her story of supposedly having everything: career, marriage, home, yet feeling depressed and unhappy. She left it all, got a divorce, and then spent a year abroad to find herself. She ate her way through Italy, studied spiritual practice in India, and sought to balance pleasure and divinity in Indonesia. While going through her divorce, Elizabeth had a relationship with a man whom she called David. This didn't seem to be a sociopathic relationship, just normally dysfunctional. Although they broke up, Elizabeth, from time to time, pined for David. Her feelings came back to haunt her when she studied at an ashram in India. She was obviously despondent, so her wise and funny friend at the ashram, whom she called Richard from Texas, asked her what was wrong. Elizabeth cried and asked Richard not to laugh at her, but she thought she was having such a hard time getting over David because she seriously believed that he was her soulmate. Richard said that David probably was her soulmate, but she didn't understand what that really meant. He explained that people think a soulmate is your perfect fit, but he said a true soulmate is a mirror. The person who shows you everything that's holding you back. The person who brings who you are to your attention so you can change your life. Richard said that a true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. He said soulmates come into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you, and then they leave. In Elizabeth's case, Richard said that David's purpose was to shake her up, reveal her obstacles and addictions, break her heart open so a new light could get in, and make her so desperate and out of control that she had to transform her life. I can empathize with that explanation because it's exactly what happened to me. In my book, Red Flags of Love Fraud, 10 Signs You're Dating a Sociopath, the #2 red flag is sudden soulmate. When you meet the sociopath, you feel like you've met the person you've been waiting for all your life. Why? Because the sociopath studies you, figures out what you're looking for, and then transforms himself or herself into your ideal mate, at least in the beginning. Many sociopaths actively push the soulmate agenda. In my internet survey for the Red Flags book, 64% of respondents agreed with the statement. The individual said we were soulmates, and I was the person he or she was waiting for. Sociopaths, of course, are using the soulmate terminology only as a tactic in their strategy of calculated seduction. It's part of the act, and their real agenda is exploitation. But as much as I hate to give sociopaths credit for anything, they may indeed serve a purpose in our lives. Sociopaths look for our vulnerabilities and then use them to hook us. Their actions are certainly despicable, but the fact remains that we're the ones with the vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities are often detrimental to our happiness and perhaps even our lives. The sociopath offers us a solution to our problems, an answer to our prayers. It's all fake, but we don't know that until much later, when everything falls apart. As we're standing amid the devastation that used to be our lives, wondering how we got into this mess, the truth may be right in front of us. In some way, we were vulnerable. If we're honest, we can identify the weakness, pain, or mistaken belief that may have been hidden from us, but the sociopath was able to find and use. Once we figure it out, we have an opportunity to truly heal from not only the sociopath, but from the vulnerability that the sociopath targeted. This is what happened to me. When I met James Montgomery, I was 40 years old, had yet to marry, and worried about my biological clock ticking. I was primed to be plucked. When I discovered Montgomery's betrayal, I realized that my marriage had been a scam from the very beginning, and I was shattered. But what was shattered? The walls I had built around my heart. These walls were based on my fear of being hurt, my disappointment at feeling so alone in life, and my mistaken belief that I was not worthy of love. The betrayal by Montgomery caused me so much emotional pain that I could not contain it, and the pain burst out of me, taking the walls with it. And when the pain and the walls were gone, real love was able to enter my life. So, was Montgomery my soulmate? I guess it depends on how you define the term. Richard from Texas would probably say yes. I certainly agree that James Montgomery demolished who I was and changed the course of my life. But I'm the one who worked to clear out the emotional debris and discover who I really am. And that's what I hope you will do as well. I am not making excuses for sociopaths, but I talk to a lot of people who've been involved with them, and usually when I ask, they can identify the weakness that made them vulnerable to manipulation. So, make your recovery twofold. Work on your recovery from the sociopath, and then identify and work on recovering from the original vulnerability. Your life may change dramatically, and for the better. If you need assistance in your recovery, you'll find it at Lovefraud. We have plenty of articles, including many people telling their own stories that will probably sound a lot like yours. We have webinars by therapists and other experts to help you escape in recovery. And I'm always happy to work with you one-on-one. I can give you practical advice and help ease your stress. Just go to lovefraud.com, talk to Donna. Even after the sociopath, full recovery is possible. Lovefraud is here to help you.